Good afternoon, I'm Scott from GoNoodle. I'm the CEO and co-founder. How many of you are familiar with GoNoodle? See a couple of hands. How many of you know a child that's between the ages of 6 and 12 years old? All right, when you go home, ask the child between the ages of 6 and 12 years old. I promise you, they will have heard of GoNoodle. I'm going to tell you about GoNoodle, and GoNoodle is really focused on helping teachers bring more movement and more mindfulness into their classrooms so that we can help kids be their strongest, smartest, bravest, silliest, and bestest selves. So we started GoNoodle really focused on this problem, and that is this generation of kids does not move like prior generations. Kids spend an inordinate amount of days sitting, both at school and at home, and kids also come to school with more stress and anxiety than prior generations. So our goal was to gamify movement, make it entertaining, movement and mindfulness that is, and make it entertaining for kids in elementary school settings. We've done that by creating literally hundreds of movement and mindfulness videos and games that all last 3 to 5 minutes each. So easy for a teacher to integrate movement videos and games right into their classroom. As I mentioned, it's all gamified. So your work as a class powers your class avatar to take on new shapes and sizes and level up as your class achieves more minutes of movement and mindfulness. And we are a freemium model, and we have a premium version called GoNoodle Plus, and GoNoodle Plus integrates moving and mindfulness with core subjects. We think school is better with GoNoodle, and you'll see in a moment that we think kids will agree. So you can see without even leaving the space right next to their desk, kids are able to get moderate and vigorous physical activity, and they're able to take moments to reflect and participate and practice mindfulness. Kids, parents, and teachers love GoNoodle. All this demonstration here of kids using characters and content from GoNoodle, really living out the mission of what we do and helping change the culture of the classroom. So we launched in August of 2013. We're just about to finish our 4th school year. And you can see last month we had over 620,000 classrooms and over 12 million kids active in the last 30 days playing GoNoodle. You can see also too, we show that's our monthly active users, but our weekly active and daily active user numbers are really strong in terms of this is something that teachers are finding ways to incorporate on a daily basis and play multiple times per day, using 3 to 5 minute interventions of physical activity and mindfulness for when kids come back from lunch or when they realize that they need to boost the energy or help channel some of that energy to focus. Our impact, we've generated 5 billion minutes of movement and mindfulness just this school year. One of our partners in Fort Worth, Texas, did a study of GoNoodle and found some really interesting statistics or facts, and that is 23% greater improvement in reading for kids who played GoNoodle versus kids who did not. They also showed a 50% greater improvement in math scores for elementary students who played GoNoodle versus those who did not. And one of the things that we're most excited about is not only are we showing an impact in education, but all of these extra minutes of movement for a generation of kids that don't move enough is showing up in their physical health as well. We generate revenue by marketing our premium version to schools, districts, and teachers. We also have a number of community sponsors and state sponsors that underwrite our premium version for schools in their communities and in their states. And we also work with organizations like you see here, Nickelodeon and Disney, that have great content that's really part of pop culture, and work with them to take their content and turn it into movement videos and games that inspire kids to move even more. We're based in Nashville, Tennessee. We have 50 employees. About 15% of our staff are former teachers. But we have on our management team background in instructional design, background in kids media. Our chief content officer spent nearly 20 years at Sesame, and just a great team that's really focused on how do we get this generation of kids moving like prior generations. GoNoodle is a freemium model, and so we've had the good fortune of teachers loving GoNoodle, telling other teachers in their building, telling other teachers on social media and around the world. We have users now in 186 countries. And this truly is a global problem. This is not just unique to the United States. Kids all over the world are sedentary and increasingly dealing with lots of stress and anxiety. So GoNoodle is all about getting kids to practice movement and mindfulness at school and extending that home. We call it the movement movement. We hope you'll join us at GoNoodle.com. Thank you.